Welcome to today's Partner Spotlight. Today I'm with the great partner VyOS. I'm Maxi, and with me today is Santiago. Welcome, Santiago.
Thank you, Maxi. Hello, everyone.
Welcome. So we'll be talking today about sort of security and the edge and secure network infrastructure. We're going to talk a little bit about ZEDEDA, some threat vectors, and then we're going to dive into VyOS, their fantastic offering, and we're going to do this all in about 10 minutes. So stay with us here. So let's jump into the ZEDEDA piece. If you're not familiar, ZEDEDA is an edge orchestration and management provider. Fundamentally, we provide infrastructure for servers running outside your data center. And we do this through a number of technologies, but we start with sort of a hypervisor at the edge. We connect it up through an API to an orchestrator that allows you to deploy different types of workloads. We support all sorts of different types like virtual machines or containers. We can run Kubernetes. And we can run security applications, which is what we're here to talk about today. In general, we tend to operate out in our definition of edge, which is really outside of data centers. So you think about the gateway edge or compute edge as it's defined on this chart. These are servers that run in retail locations. They can run on trucks. They can run in all sorts of environments like these, for example, some example customers here. But as you can see, all of these workloads are running outside your data center. And in this environment, it really introduces some new challenges and some new ways you have to think about your data. And in a slide or two here, we're going to talk about sort of the four security threat vectors that we think you should be aware of and should be addressing. But first, I want to talk quickly about the ZEDEDA architecture. So as I mentioned, we kind of have two major components or three major components. On the right side of this slide, you see VyOS. Eve is an open source bare metal operating system. It's managed by the Linux Foundation in the LF Edge project space. We're a key contributor to that project and helped build it in the original. And what that does is allow you to install on 80 plus different types of hardware and provide a layer of virtualization, management, and security. And this layer lives in open source Eve and allows you to run all the workloads on the node itself. And then connected to that node through an orchestration API is a cloud controller. In ZEDEDA's parlance, we call it ZEDEDA Cloud. It's a SaaS offering, something we run on behalf of our customers. And it's used to sort of lay down policy, lay down procedures, and lay down the rules for what applications, what workloads, what network configurations, all the details you need for that edge node to operate and to deliver an outcome for our customers. And we do that in a centralized state model where all your state lives inside the cloud, which is extremely scalable for edge environments, even when they have sort of poor networking or difficult locations. We're really built for managing applications out in the wild. So that's a quick look at the ZEDEDA architecture. A key component of it is our application marketplace. And this is where we start to bring in partners, and we can bring in third-party applications and make it extremely easy for our customers to deploy those applications. And that's a big part about what we're talking about with our friends at VyOS today. So on the security threat vectors, things change a bit when you pull a server out of a data center. I think a lot of the computing folks in the world, a lot of our customers are really familiar with the cloud. They're running applications in the cloud. They're securing them with application security and network security. But when you pull a device out of the cloud and you no longer have armed guards and cooling and power and IT folks on site, it opens up a couple different threat vectors. So these are the four we think our customers should think about. The first is physical device security. So again, having that device in a truck or in a retail location opens it up to theft. It opens it up to people plugging in a USB, installing malware, destroying the device, trying to get to the data in the encrypted drive. So you need to kind of cover the physical characteristics of that device. Network security doesn't go away. It's always been critical to protecting applications and is extremely important on the edge. And we're going to talk a bit about that with VyOS on how they're built for that. Application security remains. So these are tools where you're ensuring the integrity of the application. You could be using advanced AI to look at workflows and workloads and how they change, do threat detection. And then the last piece is software runtime security. And this is really ensuring that all the software on your device is exactly the software you think it should be, that nothing else has been added, you're not running an old version that may be compromised or maybe have security exploits. This is a way to ensure that your software stack is up to date, current, and exactly what you expect it to be. And from sort of a broader view of that same 4 threat vectors, you can see kind of how they line up and cover an edge node. So ZEDEDA, we've really focused on and built a great solution around physical device security. We use the TPM and cryptography to identify these devices and make them very secure, encrypt the hard drive, these sorts of things. On the network side, we're going to learn here in just a second about all the great things that VyOS can do, providing really deep network security. And then on top of that, we've seen solutions like AI Edge Labs, Sternum, open source Suricata, as ways to sort of look at those application runtimes while they're running. Are the right things happening? Are there any strange processes running, data flows, new connections? These types of security platforms will identify those and alert you. And then the last piece is, again, making sure the installed security is exactly what you would expect to be. And this is another area where ZEDEDA has really spent a lot of effort to really measure. And what happens is we measure the software on the device and attest it versus values in the cloud to just ensure that you're running the right software. And if you cover all 4 of these threat vectors, it doesn't mean you're perfect and you're safe, but this is sort of best practices that we're seeing on the edge today, is to really address all of these different areas. And today we're talking with our friends VyOS, and we're excited to announce they're now part of our global marketplace. We've done a fair amount of integration technically to make the products work together and give our customers sort of that one-click experience. And we're doing that through our application marketplace. And in the marketplace today, we're adding the VyOS Universal Router. And I'm going to let Santiago go into the details of that router. But we're excited to have them as part of the marketplace. Our customers are looking forward to having this technology available. And I'm going to let Santiago jump in here and tell you a little bit more about that. Santiago, you want to tell us about the Universal Router?
Thank you so much, Maxi, for such a thorough introduction, for such a warm welcome, and for introducing today's topic, which is, as you mentioned, security at the edge. So we can, move to this slide. So as you mentioned, VyOS is an open source network operating system underpinned by the robust Debian GNU Linux, for those who doesn't know us yet. So crafted with the modern IT landscape in mind, VyOS Universal Router delivers a command line interface, CLI, similar to traditional hardware routers, but without complex licensing or artificial limitations that consume today's environments. Its API-driven architecture and fully open source code makes it a game changer in the industry. Okay, we will dive into this in the following slides. But first, let me do a very brief introduction on who is VyOS Networks Corporation. So, with headquarters in California, VyOS Networks Corporation is the enterprise behind VyOS Universal Router. The platform is designed to provide an open source alternative to proprietary router and firewall solutions, allowing more organizations to establish secure, high performance, and resilient networks. The VyOS operating system has gained traction for being highly customizable, scalable, and suitable for both small and large network infrastructures. Currently, it is employed across a spectrum of industries and organizations, including service providers, educational institutions, and enterprise, and for a variety of applications such as edge, branch, and of course, cloud networking. In the next slide, we will have a closer look at the native integrated components of VyOS that customers have available without any limitation. All these features make VyOS a very suitable option for different use cases like VPN concentrator, enterprise edge router, cloud gateway, zone-based or stateful firewall, and even BRAS or BNG server. So it's important to highlight that our engineering team is committed to continuously incorporate the latest technologies, ensuring that VyOS remains at the forefront of network performance and security. This dedication to excellence and innovation provides users with a robust, scalable, and future-proof networking solution. In addition, VyOS has available pre-built images for multiple bare metal, virtual, and public cloud environments, which play a crucial role in simplifying the deployment process and ensuring a smooth experience for users. I'm talking about ease of deployment, compatibility, and driver support, out-of-the-box functionality, and port detection, which represents some of the key added values of these pre-built images. In the next slide, we'll take a look into the architecture overview. We can see and hear showcasing how VyOS combination with ZEDEDA stands out. So ZEDEDA delivers infrastructure software for running edge workloads and applications. And installing the edge virtualization engine on commodity hardware creates a trusted environment with an embedded hypervisor managed via the ZEDEDA Cloud API. Using the ZEDEDA and VyOS enables seamless integration of workloads, efficient distribution of edge capabilities, robust orchestration, and uncompromising security through zero-touch approach. This robust integration enables customers to effortlessly set up a VyOS instance that functions as a network virtual functions within ZEDEDA, based on VyOS architecture supporting most technologies and RFC standards, allowing customers to significantly enhance their network capacity. The best part is customers don't need to worry about hardware limitations or stringent security prerequisites. Moreover, this integration offers diverse methods of establishing connections with different cloud providers, as we can see right now in the image. In the next slide, we're going to see VyOS core engine coupled with ZEDEDA. The VyOS architecture facilitates seamless integration and adaptability with open source core daemons, and this enhances the network's capabilities, aligning them with the VyOS API. And as a result, customers enjoy a streamlined integration process, gaining exposure to various layers, northbound, southbound, via CLI interfaces and APIs. Here we can see how ZEDEDA leverages an open architecture built on Project Eve from the Linux Foundation. Okay, Eve is a lightweight open source Linux-based edge operating system with open orchestration APIs. Eve runs on over 75 different hardware platforms, providing customers the flexibility to choose the ideal configuration for every workload. And coupled here with VyOS, when they join forces, they deliver a comprehensive edge infrastructure and application stack, using ZEDEDA's edge native infrastructure solutions, which encompasses Eve and virtual machine functionalities. Catering to both Linux and Windows applications in conjunction with VyOS enhances the core network functionality as an edge router, firewall, VPN, concentrator appliance. If we go to the next slide, here we can,
So great job. I think, one of the things I'd highlight is, we see a lot of customers, they start at the edge and they say, oh, I can do the exact same thing in the cloud that I do in the edge. And they try and bring a very heavyweight network security solution. And what we've found is that's often overkill and increases your hardware costs and has features that maybe aren't represented or required on the edge itself. So we love the approach that you guys are taking, the sort of pluggable modules, all the different sort of everything from WireGuard to all these different solutions you can bring in and mix and match. And we think it aligns really well with our edge customers who are going to want to select the right footprint, the right size, and the right feature versus an all-in-one type solution. So very cool, very good stuff.
Exactly.
In terms of learning more, we encourage you to visit. We have a webpage on the ZEDEDA site that has a solution brief, has a white paper, has a bunch of details around it. We're happy to give you a real-time demo. If you're more of a hands-on person and want to just try it out, you can sign up for a free account on ZEDEDA. And in our global marketplace, you'll find the VyOS Universal Router, and you can, with a few clicks, try it out for yourself. So with that, I think we're finished. Santiago, great job. Really appreciate everybody attending and listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Maxi.
Look forward to seeing you try the demo. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.